We are 2 to go in the race to the SNHL Division 1 Championship, and it's looking more and more like Cy Bowen is going to put both hands on the trophy later on today. But we've got a lot of racing to get through. Hello everyone, my name is Daryl Kinsey Jr. I'm the voice of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League, and welcome to Seattle for the SNHL Seafair Cup, race number 6 of the Digital Roostertails presents SNHL Division 1 season. And this year has been utter domination by Cy Bowen. He wins yet another pole position this evening, picking up the 200 points. And that will help him in his march to the national high points and the driver's title, which will keep you updated on during the night. His closest competitor, Tyler Sams, was not a great qualifying effort for him. Only 16th out of the 17 boat field. Tyler will be in lane number 5 for Heat 1A. It will be a challenge. He's got a lot to work on if he wants to try to dig into that championship lead and at least make it a race going into San Diego next month to end the year. So starting out, it's a 3,302 point lead. That is a lot. That is a huge mountain to have to climb, but there is still time. And if you can keep that, and for Tyler, his job today is to just keep that advantage outside of 3,000 points, because it's 3,200 points in San Diego. If he can keep his deficit below 3,200 points by the end of the night, Cy Bowen will be able to continue the championship. Sorry, not Cy Bowen. Tyler Sams will be able to continue the championship fight into San Diego. If it's over 3,200 points, Cy Bowen is your champion. I'll be updated on that as the night goes on. Meanwhile, our Division 1 dropouts have also pretty much been decided. Jay Zadrowski, Elijah Smith, Pete Lacoste, Mackay Burgess, they are not here. They will not remain in Division 1 and will go down to Division 2 next season. So it's time to go racing. Heat 1A heading out onto the water. These are your starters and your qualifying times. Neil Dismang, you see him right there on your screen. Actually, we'll start from lane 1 through 5. Jack Daniels of Craig Melody will be in lane number 1, qualified at 159.091 miles per hour. He qualified 9th today. He will be in lane 1. Lane number 2 will be occupied by the Miss Dinesh 2 of Francis Ranella, 155.956, put him 11th on the field. Neil Dismang in the Dutch Pros, you saw him earlier. He is going to be in lane number 3, 155.881 miles per hour, has him 13th on the grid. Lane 4, Callum Washburn 3D Race Boats, 155.649, good enough for 15th on the board. Lane number 5, as we mentioned, will be the double zero Bush Broncos of Tyler Sams, qualified 16th, 154.652 miles per hour. And the Mopar, Jeff DeWalt, will be on the outside, lane number 6, qualified 17th and last, 153.541 miles per hour. Well, I want to welcome everybody that is joining us here on YouTube. Got a couple of hours of racing to get through here in the virtual hydroplane season as we near the conclusion of everything. Gonna fix the sound real quick. Sorry about that. As we're coming to the conclusion of Division 1 and Division 2 racing, all championships will be decided in San Diego. Well, Division 2 will be decided in San Diego. Division 1 could be decided tonight, depending on what happens in starting with Heat 1B and starting really with this heat right now at Tyler Sams. He's got to win this heat. He's basically in must-win mode the rest of the season. And from our stat man, Nick Kish, Cy Bowen needs 869 points to win the Drivers' Championship and 1,000 points tonight to keep the one on his boat. We'll see if that'll happen, but right now we're going to get settled in as we are 10 seconds to the start of Heat 1A. Francis Ranella and Callum Washburn going to lead us across as 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second mark. And I don't think that was a clean start, actually. As we'll have to check that, but I believe Callum Washburn may have jumped. But meanwhile, Craig Melody is leading the way down the back straightaway for the first of 3. The Mr. Nash is second. Dutch Bros is third. As we go around for the first of 3 laps. Going through turn number 2 now, Craig Melody's got about a Roostertail lead over Francis Ranella. Dutch Bros behind in third. Tyler Sams has gone over. And that is not what he needed. We'll stick with this. He went over at the start. The officials have to look at that. But Tyler Sams may have just put the nail in the coffin of his championship before it even got started. The 0-0. And we'll have to go back and look at the replay. Upside down and out of this race. Meanwhile, Craig Melody holds the lead down the backstretch for the second time, heading past the yacht row with Francis Ranella in tow. It's about over a Roostertail between the two as Craig Melody got a little squirrely on the backstretch. Managed to bring it under control in turn number 2. There's Francis Ranella, the Mr. Nash 2 in second. Third is Neil Dismang right there on the outside as he stretched out into a little bit of a boat parade here. Callum Washburn is 4th. Jeff DeWalt is 5th as we're on the final lap. And Craig Melody looks like he is on his way to 400 points. One of our drivers to come up from Division 2. And he has proven he belongs a number of heat race wins this season for Craig Melody. And as that all-black U95 comes down to the backstretch, he's looking to start his Seattle Seafair with a victory. Just needs to keep those sponsons on the water. A much better ride this time around down the back straightaway into turn number 2. And Craig Melody will hit the exit pin and come down and start finish line for 400 points and the win in Heat 1A. Craig Melody takes the win. Francis Ranella is going to come across in second to pick up 300 points. Neil Dismang will take the 225 for third. Callum Washburn will pick up 4th in the U44. That's 169 points. In 127 will go to Jeff DeWalt, the U31 in 5th. Actually, he'll get 169 in 4th because Callum Washburn jumped the start, so he'll end up with 127 points for 5th. And that is a clean heat, no calls. We're going to go briefly and take a look and see what exactly happened to Tyler Sams. So here we are on the replay. There's Tyler Sams, center of your picture. Comes down the front straightaway to get started, and I think this boat's going to go up all by himself. No, actually, he's going to get in the wake of Cal Washburn, and that sent him over. And Callan was far ahead of the 0-0, so no encroachment penalties or bearing in or out penalties to be called there. And we will talk to Craig Melody, our winner of Heat 1A. And Craig Melody joins us now. Craig, congratulations on the win in Heat 1A. And you came up from Division 2, and you've proven you belong up here. Another Heat win on your belt.
Yeah, very good draw for the Heats for me. I was surprised I was in lane 1, so very happy to actually pull it off.
And we've looked at the winds, and looking out there, there really is no wind. 2 miles an hour. I know we've had a lot of challenges with wind this year. How does it feel to have a really clean and almost glass-like lake to run on today?
yeah, it's obviously good out in front. So hopefully I can get another good heat draw and then, do it again, I suppose. Stay in the water.
All right, Craig, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you very much, Daryl.
Heat 1B coming up next. Heat 1B ready to roll. 3 more minutes on the sheet. 3 more minutes on the clock. Racers head out onto the water. These are your lane assignments. In lane number 1, stop if you heard this one before, but Cy Bowen, the U1 Corsair 2, another 200 points, another pole position. And with Tyler Sams getting 0 points in Heat 1A, Cy Bowen now has a great opportunity to make a 600-point swing here. As Tyler Sams did not get any points, he's got 30 points in qualifying, to Cy Bowen's 200. That's about 170 points in the deficit. 400 points here in Heat 1B, and we know how Cy Bowen usually wins these heats. That's going to be 400 points. That'll be 570 points towards the championship before we even get to the second flight of heats. And as we said, Tyler Sams needed to... Oh, wow! That was a... We'll say that's on the corner, or camera tricks, but that was a generous corner by Scott Witherall. We'll talk about that, and he'll be in lane number 2. Qualified third, 157.950. The officials will have to talk about that later. Tim Johnson in the U50 Miss Tri-Cities qualified 5th, 157.677. He'll be in lane number 3. Lane number 4 will be occupied by the wave dancer. You saw him earlier, Derek Demers. The U144 qualified 156.706 miles per hour. Good enough for 6th. Lane 5 will be Harley Gray in the Lucas Oil Dream Warrior. 156.467 miles per hour. And Jiff presents Mr. Pringles will be in lane 6. Scott Brzbilski, 8th spot, 156.101 miles per hour. So the boats are making their way down into turn number 2. There is Cy Bowen. He's in lane 1. Scott Witherall will be in lane number 2. Derek Demers, lane 3. Harley Gray, lane 4. Actually, that's lane 5. Derek Demers is lane number 4. And Scott Brzbilski is going to try to make a run around the outside. We're 6 seconds from the start of Heat 1B. It's going to be between Cy Bowen and Tim Johnson as we get to the line, and it's a clean start, and we're underway. Good start by Tim Johnson in lane number 2. But it's going to be Cy Bowen that gets to turn number 1 first from lane number 1. And Cy Bowen in that that U1 Corsair 2 begins to pull away. Derek Demers in lane number 3 is going to get dropped off the top 2 here as they fan out down the back straightaway for the first of 3. Scott Witherall did not get a good start. He's back in the 6th spot. Harley Gray is back in the slop. Right along with him here. To his outside is the Mr. Pringles. He's got tough water to the inside from the boats up front. Not a good start for Harley Gray as they make their way down the front straightaway to put lap number 1 in the books. To his outside, he's got Jiff presents Mr. Pringles as the battle for fourth continues. Harley's drifting over a little bit. Those sponsons are walking down the front straightaway. Brandon's going to dive to the inside through the spray. Trying to take that fourth spot away, but can't hold on to it. Nearly gets the buoy. Just in the exit of turn number 1, is going to get into the path of Scott Przybilski. Manages to hold on to it. That dive to the inside did not work. And Przybilski's going to hold on to the fourth spot for now. As they head down the back straightaway, we'll stay with this battle. Cy Bowen continues to lead. As Harley Gray again dives to the inside, tries to make it stick. Going to drift out just a little bit, leaves a lot more room between him and Przybilski this time. He's going to have position 4 briefly, but then Scott Przybilski takes it away. Cy Bowen has started the final lap. We stick with this battle for the fourth spot. With Przybilski on the inside, Gray is on the outside, but now Przybilski, I think, is going to hold on to it. He's got the cleaner water out there. Harley Gray still trying to make it work on the inside. He actually is going to make it work this time, but it's that exit of the corner that's hurting him, and it's allowing Przybilski for now to hold on to that spot. But Cy Bowen doesn't have to worry about any of that as he continues to lead through turn number 2, heads towards the start-finish line to pick up 400 points in the win in Heat 1B. Tim Johnson's going to come across in second. Derek Demers will be in third. And it looks like Scott Przybilski will hold on to fourth because it looks like Harley Gray got a buoy. And the doctor, Scott Witherall, will be sixth. And actually, no, it's going to be Scott Witherall got 4 buoys. I think something is going on with Doc. Maybe going on with some of Doc's controls. Because that boat was behind the field and not very controllable. He'll come across in 6th. And that'll do it for this heat. Results on the screen now. Cy Bowen takes the win by about 3 seconds over Tim Johnson, and we'll hear from him momentarily as he's one step closer to the championship. And Cy Bowen, driver of the U1 Corsair 2, joins us. And Cy, I don't think that U1 will be going anywhere. You pick up 400 points here, 200 points in qualifying. You're taking a huge step towards that championship.
Yeah, I'm trying to lock it up tonight, depending on how everybody else's nights go. I know Tyler's here, so if he does well, we may have to push it into next week. But yeah, I'm going to try to lock it up tonight, and then we can kind of coast and focus on winning finals the rest of the season.
How do you put into words how the dominant run you've been on? You ran through Division 2, and then you come up to Division 1, you run through there to win the championship. Now it looks like overall a 3rd straight championship. How do you put this run into words?
Like I said before, you don't really put it into words. You kind of come into these seasons and hope to do exactly what we're doing right now. So very fortunate for the preparation that myself, Mikey, Scott, Witherall, Jay all did going into D2 and D1 for our first year. All that kind of prepared me to kind of keep doing what we're doing and going out there and trying to fight for finals.
Well, I can say now, unofficially, we'll wait for Nick Kish to confirm it, but you are the driver's high points champion for 2025-2026. So congratulations.
Perfect. That works with me.
Yep, champion-elect, and you've got a little bit more to keep that U1 on the boat, but congratulations and good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
So there is Cy Bowen, unofficially now your net driver's high points champion with that win in Heat 1A. We will get the confirmations, of course, from the stat man, Nick Kish. And I don't know why Discord is saying 1:10:26 for this message that he clearly sent tonight, but it is what it is. Discord is doing a silly. We've got Heat 1C coming up, so we'll take a break and come back after this. So I have just conferred with the stat man, Nick Kish. Going into Heat 1C, this is what it looks like. First, Cy Bowen, officially the Season 7 Division 1 Digital Roostertails presents SNHL Division 1 champion. Now comes the main event, the National High Points Championship. This is what needs to happen. Max Corvo is in this heat. Corvo will be in lane number 2, the U52 Great White Shark. It is a win or bust scenario. Max has to win this race or the double championship will go to Cy Bowen. If Max Corvo wins this heat, we will go on to the second flight. We will update it after that. But that is the state of play going into Heat 1C. The rest of your starters, Matt Palmer, who is filling in for Elijah Smith in the U49 Red Bull, will be in lane number 1, qualified second. Great run by Palmer. 157.964 miles per hour. Another one of our D2 drivers getting a taste of D1 action tonight. Lane number 3 will be the Easton Eagle, Nick Kish, 156.043 miles per hour. Good enough for 10th. Still in a battle for a all-star race spot, excuse me. Scott Garner, A&W Root Beer, 155.942 miles per hour. Good enough for 12th. He's also got a chance at an all-star slot. And lane 5 is the Miss Vandelay, Mickey Washburn, qualified 14th, 155.783 miles per hour. And Mickey kind of struggled in qualifying, had to go to the last chance to have an opportunity at it. And right now, Mickey Washburn is 7th, so solidly in a spot for a all-star race position. But it is a very fluid situation in the all-star races. Outside of Cy Bowen, really, the gaps in the championship are minuscule, which kind of leads to what we've been doing this year with the assigned lanes. It's kept everything compact, and every race still matters going into tonight. So here we are, getting ready for Heat 1C. Max Corvo has to win this race, or Cy Bowen is the National High Points champion. So around turn 2 we go. Max Corvo didn't get a very good start here. Has got 10 seconds until to go. It's going to be Matt Palmer that leads us as we are 4 seconds. Make that 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Mark! That's going to be a clean start. And we are underway here in Heat 1C. And it's Max Corvo in second. Matt Palmer leading the way. Filling in for Elijah Smith in the U49 Red Bull. He makes his way down the back straightaway. Max Corvo, National High Points Championship, slipping away here. He's got to win this race. Behind him, Mickey Washburn, Nick Kish battling for the third spot into turn 2 for the first of 3. Kish to the inside. Has to recorrect going through turn number 2, but he's got an opportunity to pass Mickey Washburn, but we will go back up front. And starting lap number 2 is Matt Palmer in the U49 Red Bull. Second is Max Corvo. Not enough to keep the championship alive. But back behind them, the battle for third is on. As Nick Kish has got a slender lane to work with. He's going to get into the wash. Mickey Washburn goes into the inside of lane number 1. That's going to cost him 3-4 bolt lengths as Mickey Washburn now pulls away. He's going to hold on for third. And fifth right now, Scott Garner in the U60 A&W Root Beer. But back up front, Matt Palmer running for Elijah Smith. Heads through turn number 2 on lap number 2 of 3. As we start the final lap, Palmer on the season is second in SNHL. SNHL Division 2. He looks set to come up to Division 1 next season. And what a way to sound the bell by denying Max Corvo an opportunity to continue to fight for the championship. He stretched it out by over Roostertail now with a beautiful boat ride down the back straightaway past the yacht row. Matt Palmer, the U49 Red Bull, heads to turn number 2, filling in for Elijah Smith. It's going to be Palmer off turn number 2. And to the start-finish line, the U49 Red Bull is going to take 400 points and the win in Heat 1C. Max Corvo is going to come across in second to take 300 points, and your 2025-2026 National High Points Champion is Cy Bowen in the U1 Corsair 2. Bowen wins the championship. We'll get you the order of the race right here. As Palmer dominates in his first taste of D1 action unofficially. His first career win in Digital Roostertails SNHL Division 1. Gonna have to wait till next year to get that official win. But it is Cy Bowen, a third straight Saturday Night Hydroplane League championship, and it's D1 for the second time. But first, we will hear from Matt Palmer, the driver of the U49 Red Bull for this evening. Gets his first unofficial D2 win. First unofficial D1 win. Palmer, congratulations. Early welcome to Digital Roostertails SNHL D1. And congratulations. Got your first win.
Thank you. Yeah. A little nerve-wracking being up in D1.
Well, you've had a good run in Division 2. Currently, you are second in the championship behind Levi Colley heading into San Diego. Talk a little bit about how the season down there has gone for you.
Started off a little rough. But second half of the season, obviously, results speak for themselves. We've been able to turn it around. So it's a little bit of a tall order to win the championship at the last one, but all I can do is go out and try and win it all. So hopefully it goes in my favor.
So you pick up the win today, tomorrow. So you pick up the win today, though. Early preview of action in Division 1. What'd you think?
I got a bit of work to do. I'm glad I didn't get Carson Kelly on another lane 1 start there again. So it's good to get a win and get my feet wet and see what this D1's all about.
All right, Matt, congratulations, and good luck the rest of the night, and we can't wait to see you full-time next season.
Thanks, Daryl.
So, Heat 1, the first flight of heats are over. We'll have the second flight of heats coming up momentarily. Heat 2A, we'll have Jeff DeWalt, the Miss Vandelay of Mickey Washburn, Craig Melody and the Jack Daniels, the Wave Dancer of Derek Demers, the Great White Shark of Max Corvo, and Scott Witherall in the Miss Castro GTX. We'll see how this all wraps up as we start the second flight in just a moment. All right, Heat 2A underway. We got a little recheck of the points, and we're not yet. Max Corvo still has a shot at this. It's going to be a challenge here from lane number 5 when he did win that heat. So we have confirmed that Cy Bowen only needs a 4th in Heat 2B to win the championship. So in this heat, as we said, Jeff DeWalt, the Mopar, by virtue of qualifying 17th, it flips, and now he will be in lane number 1. Mickey Washburn will be in lane number 2. Jeff DeWalt finished 4th in Heat 1A. He is currently sitting on 199 points. In lane number 2 will be Miss Vandelay, Mickey Washburn, after a 3rd in Heat 1C and a 14th qualifying spot. He is on 255 points. Lane number 3 is going to be Craig Melody and Jack Daniels. He won our opening heat of the night. And Craig is going to be on 470 points after qualifying in 9th. Lane number 4, Derek Demers, Wave Dancer, currently on your screen, finished 3rd in Heat 1B. After qualifying 6th, he is on 325 points. And lane number 5, as we said, Max Corvo, Great White Shark, cannot lose 139 points over the next 2, which means he's got to make something happen here from lane number 5. He's currently sitting, Max Corvo is on 440 points, and in lane number 6, be Scott Witherall, Miss Castro GTX, hit 4 buoys in his first heat of the night. He is on a lowly, look for Scott Witherall here. Actually, no, Scott. It says he's on 255 points, but that is because he got those bonus points from 3rd in qualifying. So those qualifying points do matter just a little bit. So here we are, ready for the start. Derek Demers there on the inside. He's in lane number 2. Max Corvo out there in lane number 5. Remember, he's got to win this heat. He can't do that. Contact between Demers and Corvo. I don't think he knew Demers was there. As we're ready for the start, we're 5 seconds to the go. At that 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second mark. And it's going to be a clean start as they head towards turn number 1. Leading the way is going to be Derek Demers in lane number 3. To his inside, he's got the Miss Vandelay and Jeff DeWalt in the U31. And it's DeWalt that's going to pull out with the lead down the back straightaway. Max Corvo is in 4th. That's not going to help him in the championship. But look at the speed from lane number 3 as Derek Demers goes flying around the outside. He's going to have the lead into turn number 2. Miss Vandelay, though, in the middle, closes off on Jeff DeWalt. DeWalt almost makes contact with Miss Vandelay, but holds on to it. The Wave Dancer is going to lose about 3 or 4 boat lengths. The battle is in the middle of the screen between Miss Vandelay and the DeWalt. Sorry, not the DeWalt, the Mopar of Jeff DeWalt. As Mickey now pushes out Demers to the outside. Now he's going to pin that U31 to the buoy row. Heading through turn number 1. Washburn's only giving the U31 one lane, but Jeff DeWalt manages to hold on to it. Down the back straightaway, he's got an opportunity to take the lead here. As now, again, Washburn's going to arc out, push Demers further out. And then come to the inside, is going to close down hard on the U31. It's going to pin him right there, one lane, and one lane only. For Jeff DeWalt, manages to hold on to it, but he's going to lose the boat lengths off the corner as we start lap number 3 with Mickey Washburn leading the way. Leads now by a Roostertail. To his inside is Jeff DeWalt in the Mopar. Derek Demers on the outside in 3rd. Scott Witherall has now moved to 4th. Max Corvo is back in 5th. So now it is situation critical for the championship with Max Corvo. He is back in the slot. There's no one really for him to catch. As Mickey Washburn heads into turn number 2, he's dispatched his challenger. Still has to leave a lane in there, though, for Jeff DeWalt. He's just there on the inside. But Washburn's going to hold the lane. He's going to come through turn number 2, and he's going to hold on to the win. Miss Vandelay takes the win in Heat 2A. Great run for Jeff DeWalt. He's going to get 2nd, 300 points. Derek Demers is going to come across in 3rd. Scott Witherall rebounds for 4th. Max Corvo is going to pull up for 5th. And Craig Melody is in 6th. So, clean heat. For now. See what the officials have to say about that contact there at the very start. But as we look at the results, it's Mickey Washburn that takes the win. Jeff DeWalt, a big 300 points, and all 6 go out. All 6 come in. Go to pre-race and get a check on your national high point standings. And we'll have Heat 2B coming up next. And we have Jeff DeWalt joining us after a valiant effort there in lane number 1 to pick up second. Jeff, we don't get to do this a lot, but welcome up to the booth. And that was a great run there in Heat 2A for you.
Got Brzbilski spotting for me, and he kept saying he was telling me where Mick was. And I told Scott as I was talking, I said it felt like me and Mick when we practice on Sunday mornings. And it's a rush. My hands are still shaking. And I tipped my hat to Mick. It was a great run.
We were watching on board with you for a little bit, and those lanes looked a little tight. Talk about that was definitely the definition of Division I lane there.
Yeah, he was keeping it. He was keeping me honest and putting me in there and saying, okay. And then on the last lap, I got down there and turn 2. I kind of hooked. I drop my wing a little bit too much. Went, whoa. And Scott's like, whoa, hang on. I was like, oh no. So yeah, I got nervous and all that. So yeah, it was a fun run. And I was nervous. I told Scott against, he goes, hey, you're lane 1, right? I go, what do you mean? He goes, the race is starting. I go, oh, got to get on board. I said, I didn't even know what lane I had. So yeah, I'm still in the daze, and I'm just, like I said, I'm happy to be up here, and Mick gave me the opportunity to come up here and talk. And like I said, great running against him. I'm having a blast tonight, and I'm enjoying myself, and it's wonderful being here with all you guys. And I appreciate everything you're doing tonight too, Daryl, for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you guys can hear why we've named the Sportsmanship Award after him, by the way. Jeff, congratulations.
Thanks, let me get a shout out to my brother Joe, if you're listening. I tried my best, bro. I couldn't do as much as I wanted to, but Mick kept me honest, and I did my best. So thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. Good luck the rest of the night.
All right, thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it.
So that's Jeff DeWalt, the driver of the U31 Mopar. And I'm telling you, if he ever picks up a Digital Roostertails SNHL Division I final win, I don't think you will see a dry eye in the house. That guy is a consummate professional and is a great competitor, and we love having him around here in SNHL Division I. And as we start Heat 2B, it is now official. It is officially official. We have conferred with the stat man. We have conferred with the Electoral College. Everyone we need to talk to make sure this championship is correct. In this boat right here, Cy Bowen, the U1, in lane number 6, is your national high points champion. Bowen does the double. The 1 will stay on the side of whatever he decides to call his boat next season. And a fantastic run just keeps on going, heading into next season with the Season 7 champion officially is Cy Bowen. And now he can run for pride the rest of the way. Rest of the order looks like this. The Bush Apple, Tyler Sams, qualified 16th. DNF'd in Heat 1A. He'll have lane 1 this time. He's only on his 30 qualifying points. Lane number 2, Neil Disbank, Dutch Bros Coffee, qualified in the 13th spot. Finished 3rd in Heat 1A, qualifying 13th. Neil is on 255 points in 11th. Lane number 3 will be Scott Garner in the A&W Root Beer. Garner qualified 12th, finished 5th in Heat 1C. Garner currently sits in 15th in the standings on 167 points. Lane number 4 will be the Mr. Nash 2, Francis Ranella. Qualified in the 11th spot, finished 2nd in Heat 1A. Currently sitting on 350 points in 10th. Lane number 5 will be Jeff presents Mr. Pringle, Scott Brzbilski, qualified 8th, finished 4th in Heat 1B. Scott is sitting 12th in 249 points. And our national high points champion, national drivers champion, Cy Bowen, will be in lane number 6 on 600 points. Heat 1B qualified on the pole. So that is your order for Heat 2B. We are coming to the start now. You see Scott Gardner's the first one up there in lane number 2. As now the drivers will come up on the power and make their way around turn number 2. They're a little bit late. Cy Bowen, they're going to make the wide run around the outside course markers and try to jet down the front straightaway. We've seen that work to great effect in the past, as we are about 10 seconds from the start. It'll be Tyler Sams, though, who leads us off turn number 1 to the lead. Those are 5 seconds from the go. Watch Francis Ranella for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Mark! And I think that start's going to be under review. I don't know if Francis Ranella got across in time. But as we make our way through turn number 1, it's going to be Tyler Sams who leads the way. Second is going to be Neil Dismang to his outside. He's got Francis Ranella in the battle for third. Cy Bowen out there for fourth, did not get the best of starts. He's kind of languishing out there, but he did pick up 2 spots off the start to go from 6th to 4th. So it's Busch Light Broncos, Dutch Bros, Mr. Nash 2, and Corsair 2. Your top 4 as we make our way off turn number 2, heading towards to start lap number 2. It's going to be Tyler Sams leading the way in Heat 2B. We'll stick with the battle for second. Dismang and Ranella making their way down to turn number 1. Dismang to the inside. Ranella wants the spot. He's on the outside. Dismang's going to push him out a little bit. That's going to push him out into Cy Bowen. That'll push those 2 boats to the outside, out a lane or 2, and that's going to gain about about a boat length for Dismang down the back straightaway. But it is a rooster tail between him and Tyler Sams, who up front is walking away, looking to pick up 400 points after a dismal start to the night with a flip in the very first the very first heat of the evening. Dismang leads the battle for second. Back up front though, Tyler Sams leads the race as we start the final lap. Busch Light Broncos leads. Dismang Dutch Bros in second. Ranella is in third in the Mr. Nash 2. You're right along with him now. That's the deficit between him and the Dutch Bros. About 5 boat lengths between the two as they head down the back straightaway. And Ranella on the outside is going to lose a couple more boat lengths, and now he's fallen into the clutches of Cy Bowen in the battle for third. We'll follow up with that as they head into turn number 2, but up front, it's Cy Bowen just made his way. Oh, they made contact! Bowen and Ranella make contact. Tyler Sams is going to win the heat and pick up 400 points. Neil Dismang will be second. Francis Ranella holds on for third. Cy Bowen only fourth. Scott Whitwell is going to come across in 6th. And Scott Brzbilski will be 5th. And there are your results. And they are going to review turn 2, lap 3. We'll go ahead and take a look at it ourselves. So here we go, down the back stretch we go, into turn number 2. Well, I think Cy Bowen may have just turned a little bit early, didn't know that the U929 was there, so I think that was just a misplay on our National High Points champion. We'll see what the officials have to say. But for now, we will speak to Neil Dismang, who finishes second here in the heat. Neil, congratulations on the run. Tell us about it.
Well, sometimes the lane assignments are not your friend, and sometimes they are. Lane 2 definitely helped. Cy Bowen was on the course, and I finished ahead of him, but that's because he was out in lane 6. So, yeah, lane assignments were a friend at that point.
Well, you get to celebrate that you were one of the few that beat Cy this year. But looking at the National High Points this year, Neil, the Dutch Bros currently sitting, I believe, just outside a spot. Either in or no, there you are. You're 7th in the National High Points. Currently, you're 6th, solidly in the All-Star race as it sits. But the points are really tight going into the final runs of the season. It's going to be difficult to hold on to one of those All-Star race seats.
You're not kidding at all. It was let's see, I was in 4th at the start of the night, and I think it was about 500 points to 11th. And so it could easily, everything could change in that middle of the pack. Up top it's taken care of, but this upper middle of the pack is incredibly tight.
All right, Neil, congratulations on the 300 points. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you very much.
So Heat 2C coming up next. Moving right along already into Heat 2C now. 5 limited hydroplanes to close out the second flight of heats. These are the starters. Lane number 1 will be Callum Washburn, qualified 15th, finished 5th. In Heat 1A, Callum the Curly Tail Gunner Charlie on the field, 17th at 157 points. Lane number 2, Nick Kish, Easton Eagle, qualified 10th, was 4th in Heat 1C. Nick is 15th on 229 points. Lane number 3 will be filled by Harley Gray, the Lucas Oil Dream Warrior, qualified 7th, was 5th in Heat 1B. Harley currently sits in 16th spot, 217 points. Lane number 4, Tim Johnson, Miss Tri-Cities, qualified 5th, was 2nd in Heat 1B. Tim currently sitting 12th at 420 points. And in lane number 5, we Matt Palmer filling in for Elijah Smith. Won Heat 1C after qualifying 2nd. And Palmer currently sits on 580 points in 3rd. So an opportunity for Matt Palmer to unofficially make his first final heat. So that is your lineup. 5 limited hydroplanes here for this heat as Callum Washburn's going to make his way out onto the water. Was a little late getting out of there, but he has plenty of time to get to his lane. And there's Matt Palmer. He'll be on the outside trying to make this run from lane number 6. You're right along with him now as we're getting ready for the start. Under a minute to the start of Heat 1C. I want to to thank everybody that has joined us tonight in a race that has moved quite along. We're already under an hour. And about to wrap up the second flight of heats. As now Nick Kish is going to cut the course from back to front to make his way into his lane. So you're now 30 seconds from the start. Here's Kellen Washburn. He's in lane number 1. Not Elijah Smith, Matt Palmer there to his outside in lane number 6. Have not seen that outside run work very well so far. Get another chance at it here as we're 15 seconds from the start. Cal Washburn, Matt Palmer going to lead them around turn number 2. We're under 10. Make that 8 seconds as it's going to be Cal Washburn who gets there first, but Matt Palmer's got a full head of steam at 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Mark! And we're going to put that under review. We'll check that in a moment. It looked like Matt Palmer got across the line first, but not by enough. He's going to go tumbling down the order. Meanwhile, Kellen Washburn through turn number 1's got the lead. Harley Gray from lane number 3 is in second. Nick Kitch is in the tunnel. He was in third. He's going to drop back to the back of the field. It's going to be Tim Johnson in third. Outside there in lane number 4. It's Washburn, Gray, and Johnson heading into turn number 2. As Washburn's got Gray to his outside, about 3, make that 4 boat lengths down the front straightaway to put lap number 1 in the books. It's going to be Washburn 3D Race Boats leading, Dream Warrior in second, and Miss Tri-Cities in third. Now into turn number 1, right along with Harley Gray. He's going to get that left side sponson into the wake of the Washburn 3D Race Boats, manages to hold on to it with this beautiful orange and black turbine version of the U-29 Lucas Oil Dream Warrior. Making his way down the back straightaway. Left spots and a little bit of bounce there. That's killing speed, though. And that is a challenge for him, as now he's going to be a full 7 boat lengths behind the Washburn 3D Race Boats as we start the final lap. Callan leads the way in the U-44 as he crosses the start-finish line to start the last lap. Harley Gray is in second. Tim Johnson in third. Fourth is Matt Palmer, and fifth is Nick Kish. Not a good night so far for Nick Kish in the points department. But down the back straightaway, Callan Washburn, U-44 Washburn 3D Race Boats, makes his way down the back straightaway for the final time. Gives a salute to the Yacht Club. Got a little bit of sponson walk out of the U-44. Nothing too terrible, though. He makes his way through turn number 2, looking for 400 points and the win in Heat 2C. Here comes Callan down the front straightaway. Hits start-finish line buoy and takes the win in Heat 2C. Harley Gray is second. Tim Johnson picks up 225 for third. Matt Palmer will be fourth. And Nick Kish comes across in fifth. So there are your results, and Matt Palmer did jump the gun. That will relegate him to fourth as Nick Kish had a buoy strike. And that will wrap up accounts in the second flight. We'll hear from our winner and get you set for the third flight of heats. And Callum Washburn picks up the win in Heat 2C. And Callum, that's about how you draw it up. Get lane 1, get a good start, get the win.
Yeah, I knew I had to have a really good start, so that was the focus and the key to that.
Well, heading to the final night, you got an outside shot at an all-star race spot, but with how tight the points are, the fight's not over for a chance to run in the all-star race at the end of the year.
Yeah, I actually don't know where I'm at the top off the top of my head, but yeah, that'd be fun. Uh, just haven't been able to put together a real good full race yet.
Well, it's been a good night so far, Callum. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thanks.
So, third flyway heats coming up next. Heat 3A. Here are your lane assignments, final qualifying heats of the night. In lane number 1 will be Scott Weatherall, currently sitting on 424 points. Scott trying to get into one of the 6 spots for the Connie. Lane number 2 will be Tyler Sams in the Bush Apple. Tyler also trying to get into the Connie on 430 points. Lane number 3 is going to be held by Callum Washburn. Callum currently sitting in the 8th spot. Has an opportunity to make the final, but needs a good run here. Lane 4, Craig Meldy, Jack Daniels. Currently sitting 565 points just outside. He's currently sitting 7th, just outside the top 6 to be on the front line for the final. Lane number 5 will be Matt Palmer. Driving for Elijah Smith, currently sitting 2nd with 749 points. And in lane number 6 will be Cy Bowen in the U1. Currently leading the heap with 769 points. Just needs a good finish, and he will be on his way to yet another final. So 1 minute from the start. Just a reminder, we will be wrapping up the season. We'll be wrapping up season number 8, Saturday, March 7th, 2026. The SNHL World Championship to be held at San Diego, California. That'll be a 4-flight evening. Racing starts at 7. We hope to see you there to wrap up the season, see who makes the All-Star race. Championships were decided tonight, but we are 20 seconds from the start. Let's make our way through turn number 2. I think it is. Sorry, it's Mickey Washburn, lane number 6. We're going to go ahead and start this candle as Heat 3 is underway, and leading the way is Scott Witherall there in lane number 1. Sorry, misidentified Cy Bowen in this heat. Lane number 6 is actually going to be filled by Mickey Washburn, but Scott Witherall down the back straightaway. He's got a Roostertail lead over the entire field. Got a great start, did Witherall. It was a poor start at the beginning of the night, but now he saved his best for last, and now going through turn number 1 already turn number 2, a full Roostertail. The battle right now is for second between Harley Gray and Francis Ranella. We'll show that in a minute as Witherall crosses the line to put lap number 1 of 3 on the board. It's the Miss Castro GTX leading the way. Harley Gray is in second. Francis Ranella once again finds himself in third, gets a little bit of that left sponson wet. Hagen to turn number 1. Oh, there was a big lift on the left sponson by Harley Gray. I think got into too much of the wake left by Scott Witherall. Manages to hold on to it. But as Max Corvo in 4th, Mickey Washburn in 5th, Jeff DeWalt is in 6th. As DeWalt currently in 12th, he is on the bubble of getting into the Connie. And I don't think 6th place is going to help him, especially as Scott Witherall is currently leading. And we'll start the last lap here. 1 more lap to go. It's the Mr. Castro GTX leading the way. Dream Warrior in 2nd. Mr. Nash in 3rd. There's Max Corvo, the Great White Shark. He's in the 4th spot. And it's going to be Mickey Washburn and Jeff DeWalt rounding out the field in 5th and 6th. Already down the backstretch, Scott Witherall. That boat looks like he got shot out of a cannon off the start. Got a great launch from lane number 1. Has been able to hold on for all 3 laps. Makes his way through turn number 2. He's got nobody around him and heading for 400 points in the win in Heat 3A. Scott Witherall starts the final qualifying heats with a big-time win in Seattle. Harley Gray will be 2nd in the Dream Warrior. Francinella is 3rd in the Mr. Nash 2. Max Corvo is 4th in the Great White Shark. Mickey Washburn is going to come across 5th, and Jeff DeWalt will wrap up in the 6th spot. There are your results. Mickey Washburn did jump the start, so he will go back to 6th. And we'll hear from the doctor in just a moment. And Harley Gray will come up and join us. Harley finished 2nd there in the U29. Harley, congratulations. Been a pretty good night so far. How was the run?
Not bad. Boat's doing great. Just got up there a little early to start the race and had to bail off the throttle right at the start-finish line, and Scott got away from me. But if it wasn't for that, I think it would have been a pretty good heat.
So you're heading potentially into the final heat, depends on what happens in heats 3, B, and C, but you're currently up to 2nd. If you can stay on the front line of the final, how do you go up there and stop the U1?
It's gonna be, well, with assigned lanes, it's gonna be tough. If we were fighting for lanes, I'd say that, you might be able to get him on the outside, but with the assigned lanes, it's really just going to be nail your start and just fly the thing as much as you can. But it's going to be tough. That dude is really, really fast.
So it's going to take a little bit of a struggle from the boats behind you. You've got a couple of boats that could knock you off the front line, but right now, Harley, as it sits, you got a pretty good shot being on the front line of the final. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Heat 3B coming up next. Penultimate qualifying run of the night, Heat 3B. Here's your lane assignments. Lane number 1 will be Scott Gardner. And the A&W Root Beer has finished 5th and 6th after qualifying 12th. Sit on 262 points. He's going to need some help. He's going to need a win and a win only to have any other running tonight. He'll be in lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be the Bush Apple of Tyler Sams, qualified 16th. DNF to Heat 1A, but did win Heat 2B. Tyler currently sitting on 430 points. He has an opportunity to get into the Connie. Callan Washburn 3D Race Boats, be in lane number 3. Callan currently sitting in 11th after a win in Heat 2C. Qualified 15th, had a 5th in Heat 1A. So trying to put together a last couple of heats after qualifying in Heat 1A did not go the way that he would have liked. Craig Meldy in lane number 4. Craig currently sitting in position number 10. Really just being idle, waiting for his chance to run. He won Heat 1A after qualifying 9th, but struggling Heat 2A, was only 6th. Now sits on 565 points. Still has a chance, though, to get to the front line of the final. In lane number 5 will be Matt Palmer, first and fourth at the qualifying 2nd. He is on 749 points. Currently the last driver in to the front line of the final. And in lane number 6 is the Corsair, Cy Bowen, currently sitting in 4th spot after a 1st and a 4th. Qualified on the pole, he's on 769 points. So that is your lineup, penultimate qualifying heat of the night. Cy Bowen in a little spot of bother. Just needs a decent finish. Should be able to put himself onto the front line of the final. We'll try to get this run done from the outside again. He makes his way around turn number 2. So we're now 17 seconds from the start. It's going to be tight on there on the inside. It's going to be Callan Washburn. And now maybe that Tyler Sams is going to lead us to the start as we're 3 seconds. Maybe that 2 seconds, 1 second mark. Going to be a good start. It's going to be Matt Palmer from the outside that's going to lead us into turn number 1. But look at Tyler Sams there in lane number 2. He got a great launch. And oh, Cy Bowen's over now. Cy Bowen just went over. And I think for the first time this season, Cy Bowen will not be on the front line of a final. Got a little bit of a wake hitting into turn number 1. He's out, and it's going to be Tyler Sams leading the way in the Busch Light Broncos, heading into turn number 1. There in lane number 2. Garner to his inside as it's A&W versus Busch Beer in the battle for first. Behind them, it's Red Bull versus Washburn 3D Race Boats in the battle for the 3rd spot. We start lap number 2. Best battle on the water is currently Matt Palmer versus Callan Washburn, as Washburn there on the inside, going to try to dive in, as Palmer's trying to pin him there on the inside, but Washburn's got a free run there on the inside, but now he's going to get a little bit into the wake. He's going to go all the way to the outside, as Washburn came unhooked, goes through the wake, manages to keep it on the water, but unfortunately, that's going to relegate him to 4th. Back up front, Tyler Sams leading the way. Scott Garner there on the inside as the U60 hits the buoy. Makes his way down the front straightaway to start the final lap. It's going to be between the A&W Root Beer and the Busch Beer for the win in Heat 3B as Tyler Sams leads it. Scott Garner in 2nd. Makes his way into turn number 2. Is going to have to hold it in tight. And man, Tyler Sams did not leave a lot of room in there at all. But Scott Garner manages to hold on to it. Matt Palmer, though, is in 3rd. That's going to put him in a great spot for the front line of the final. But as Tyler Sams didn't have the best start, but he's having a great end of the night. Going to wrap up with 2 straight wins as long as he can hold on to it here through turn number 2. One last chance for Scott Garner. Not going to make it happen. And it's Tyler Sams and the Busch Light Broncos gonna punch his ticket to the front line of the final. He'll take the win here in Heat 3B. Second's gonna be Garner. Callan Washburn's gonna come across for 4th. Matt Palmer was 3rd. Craig Meldy will come across for 5th. But the story of the night is that Cy Bowen went upside down on lap number 1. He'll have a DNF. pending what the officials have to say, and there is no call. So that means Cy Bowen now may have to go, for the first time this year, to the consolation heat. That is not a sentence I think I would have to say this year. But we'll see in a bit. We'll hear from one of the drivers in this heat in a moment. Last qualifying heat of the night. And this is your scenario. Currently, Matt Palmer filling in for Elijah Smith, Tyler Sam, Scott Witherall. They are in the final. Harley Gray, Francis Ranella, they are not yet locked in, but they are, we can't call them safe. Cy Bowen is the name we were not expecting to see at the bottom of this list after the flip on the very first lap of Heat 3B. Bowen looks set for the Connie for the first time tonight after winning the championship. These are the drivers that are going to try to be the ones to knock Cy Bowen into that Connie. We'll start with Nick Kish. He is currently 356 points. Needs a win to get into the Connie. He'll be in lane 1. Lane number 2 will be Scott Przybilski, 376 points. Also needs that win to get into the Connie. Lane number 3 will be filled by the Wave Dancer. Derek Demers. Been a quiet night for him. 2/3 after qualifying 6th. Demers currently sits in 15th. Despite the 2/3, a win would put him right in the final. Trying to get that done from lane number 4. And Tim Johnson, lane number 5, has a 2nd and a 3rd after qualifying in the 5th spot. Tim currently is sitting in 11th and still has a great opportunity of making his way onto the front line of the final. So this is it. Last qualifying heat of the night. Last opportunity to get those points for your national high points tally in the battle for the All-Star race, and to be on the front line to get a chance to win here at the Digital Roostertails Seattle Seafair. So one more lap to go. There is Nick Kish. Sorry, 30 seconds until the start. Nick Kish can be there in lane number 1. He's a great start here. Here comes Scott Przybilski, though. He's got a lot of speed to his outside. Should be able to overtake Nick Kish and will. So now 12 seconds. They are early coming to the start, going to lift their feet. Now they put their pedal down. As we are 5 seconds to the start, Scott Przybilski somehow rolled over. It's 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Nick Kish jumped the start. And in all that, I believe our leader is going to be Tim Johnson heading into turn number 1. And it's going to be Derek Demers, though, that leads his way out of turn number 1 with the lead. To the inside, he's got the Dutch Bros of Neil Dismang again. Not a good start for Nick Kish, and he jumped the start. So at this point, Nick Kish can be relegated to a 4th place finish. Not sure what happened there with with him and Scott Przybilski. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But the Wave Dancer making his way through turn number 2, got a pretty boat ride down the back straightaway. It's got to the inside in the tunnel is Neil Dismang in the Dutch Bros. But it's the Miss Tri-Cities in 2nd. The Wave Dancer in 1st. And they all got around that dead boat that's in the middle of the water. That is Scott Przybilski. That is upside down. Let's make our way through turn number 1. It's riding along with Derek Demers. Hits the exit pin at turn number 1. Down the front straightaway. Has no one around him. A little bit of sponson walk there from the Wave Dancer. Remember, each time those sponsons hit the water, you are losing speed. One of these unlimited hydroplanes. A nice run down the backstretch there at the end of that run as he makes his way through turn number 2. And you can kind of feel it in your left foot when you are flying it just right. And it's a great feeling to have. And Demers had a little bit of that down the back straightaway as we start the final lap. Wave Dancer leading the way. Nick Kish, of course, did jump the start. We saw that. There's going to be the Miss Tri-Cities in 2nd, Dutch Bros in 3rd, and Nick Kish in 4th. As Demers makes his way around turn number 1, down the back straightaway for the final time. He's got no one around him on a little bit of a cruise, heading towards 400 points, and that should get him to the front line of the final after 2 third-place finishes. A win will have Demers in the fight for the Digital Roostertails Seafair crown. He makes his way off turn 2 and heads toward the start-finish line to take the win in Heat 3C. Derek Demers wins to close out qualifying heats. Tim Johnson is 2nd in the Miss Tri-Cities. 3rd is going to be Neil Dismang. Nick Kish will come across in 4th. And as they wrap up, we're going to go back and take a look at what happened here at the start. We're going to ride along with Scott and see what happened here. So we make our way down the front straightaway, and oh, he just came over into the wake. of the U90, and the contact with that wake was enough to send him upside down. So that was an interesting little incident. But now our field is set. Once they tabulate the points, we'll let you know who's going where. And Derek Demers takes the win in the Wave Dancer. Derek, you saved the best for last. Couple of third place finishes. And you wrap up with a win.
Yeah, that was good. It was a bit of some accident in front of me at the start. But yeah, I managed to get away from it and take the win.
Yeah, you had a great view of that from the boat. What did you see with that accident?
I just knew that the guys were a bit early at the start, and I just saw Scott go like over just in front of me, but they were far away, so I was clean.
All right, well, Derek, congratulations. You take the win, and waiting for them to put the points in, but after that, you should be on the front line of the final. Congratulations, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dowell.
So that's Derek Demers, the Wave Dancer, your winner of Heat 3C, and the qualifying heats are done. Coming up next, the winner take all heats, the Connie and the Digital Roostertails SNHL Seafair Cup are next. So an update to the points, and Nick Kish is going to be disqualified. And looks like they're going to say he made initiated the contact between himself and Scott Przybilski. Przybilski will get the 4th place points. That will be no help for him, as Scott will not advance any further. Derek Demers does get the win. And this is the front line of the final. Matt Palmer in 1, Derek Demers in 2, Tim Johnson in 3, Tyler Sams 4, Scott Witherell in 5, Harley Gray in 6th. In your Connie, it will be Francis Ranella in 1, Neil Dismay in 2, Cy Bowen in 3, Mickey Washburn in 4, Max Corvo 5, Callum Washburn is in 6th. Craig Melde, you had a great start to the night. Jeff DeWalt, who had a great run in his first heat as well. Scott Garner, Scott Prisbilski, and Nick Kish. They can head on to San Diego because their nights are done. The Connie coming up next after this. And here we are. The qualifications are over. Now it's all about who can hit the start-finish line first. It's the winner-take-all heats here in the Digital Roostertails Seattle Seafair Cup. Sorry, in the SNHL Seafair Cup here in Digital Roostertails, SNHL Division 1. 3 mile per hour is the wind. Is the wind. And we already went over our order. There's Francis Ranella. He will be in lane number 1 here of the Connie. Lane number 2 will be filled by the Dutch pros Neil Dismay. Lane number 3, and this is a weird sentence to say, Cy Bowen in the Corsair 2. In lane number 3, Mickey Washburn. Lane number 4 in the Miss Vandalay. Lane number 5, Max Corvo in the Great White Shark. And lane number 6, Callum Washburn, Washburn 3D Race Boats. So this is going to be a strange heat. Just to see that U1 down here. Cy Bowen, who has pretty much been bulletproof all night, had his first, what I can say, bad heats of the night. Of the season here at Seattle, but at least it happened after the championship was already decided. And for Max Corvo and Tyler Sams, they are sitting there. They are saying, why couldn't this have happened at a better time of the season? And unfortunately, the only one that would have a chance to take advantage would be Tyler Sams, because Max Corvo is down in this. Sorry, not Tyler. Yes, Tyler Sams, because Max Corvo is down in this heat, but the championship already decided. As we make our way around turn number 2, and Cy Bowen going to be there in lane number 3. Should get a good launch off this corner. But it's going to be Francis O'Neill that leads us down. There are 4 seconds to the start. Make it 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Mark! That was a quick start, but we are clean. It is Cy Bowen in lane number 3 that's going to have the lead heading into turn number 1. But he's got Neil Disming and Francis O'Neill to his inside. Bowen going to struggle there on the outside, and leaving lane number 3, it's going to be Francis Ranella and the Mr. Nash 2 leading the way. They are deck to deck to deck, heading down the back straightaway. You ride along with the U1 sponsored walking down the front straightaway. Sorry, down the back straightaway. A little bit of contact there between Neil Dismang and Francis Ranella, but they managed to survive it. As now, Dismang makes contact with Cy Bowen after hitting the wake of Francis Ranella, and the nightmare race for Cy Bowen unmercifully ends with that flip and a DNF. My, oh my, Max Corvo and Tyler Sams are watching this and saying, why couldn't this have happened a couple of times during the season? As Cy Bowen, the Black Cat, finally found you, unfortunately. But we'll continue with this heat where Francis Ranella is now leading that right sponson up out the water. Manages to bring it under control through turn number 2 as we get ready to start the final lap. It's Mr. Nash 2 in first. Second is the Dutch Bros. Miss Vandelay is battling for third. We'll get to that battle in a moment as we start the final lap. There's Neil Dismang. He's in second. Battle is for third between Max Corvo and the Miss Vandelay and Mickey Washburn. This is for points, but they will not get in to the final as things sit. As Miss Vandelay on the inside, going to turn away the challenger. As Max Corvo on the outside, going to give it a ride. Is going to try to chase down that U9. Both boats walking the sponsons down towards the front, down the back straightaway, heading towards turn number 2. But there is Francis Ranella leading the way in the Mr. Nash 2 off of turn number 2 and going to the final of the SNHL Seafair Cup will be Francis Ranella in the Mr. Nash 2. Neil Dismang, U92 Dutch Pros, is second. Mickey Washburn in the U9 Miss Vandelay is third. Fourth will be Max Corvo. Callum Washburn will be fifth. And Cy Bowen going to be DNF. The U92 Neil Dismang was disqualified for the contact. And I believe that may go to a protest. But for now, the Mr. Nash goes to the front line of the final. And after 17 boats took to the water, we're down to 7 when we come back. The SNHL Seattle Seafair final heat is next. It is time here at the Seattle Seafair to crown a champion. 3.5 miles an hour are the winds. Been light winds all day. And now it is time, 5 laps, to wrap up this championship afternoon. For the first time this season, Cy Bowen will not be in the running for a final heat win. And we have an opportunity for some new winners here this evening as Matt Palmer, U49, filling in for Elijah Smith. He'll be in lane number 1. Lane number 2 will be Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer. Lane 3 is Tim Johnson in the Miss Tri-Cities. Lane number 4, Tyler Sams in the Bush Broncos. Lane number 5 is Scott Witherall, Miss Castrol GTX. In lane number 6, in the final, will be the Dream Warrior, Harley Gray, your trailer. And starting 5 seconds behind the field will be the Miss Dinesh 2 of Francis Ranella. So this is it. In a season that has been dominated by the U1. As far as final heat's gone, it's been pretty spread out. Mickey Washburn took the unofficial win during preseason testing in Chelan. Luke Nelson started the season with a win in Guntersville, Alabama. Cy Bowen got the first of 2 in the Indiana Governor's Cup in Madison. Luke Nelson then won for the second time in Thunder in the Ohio 5 in Evansville. Cy Bowen will win for the second time in it was Luke Nelson who won the Gold Cup in Detroit. In Evansville will be Cy Bowen. Carson Kelly came back to win in Tri-Cities. And now we'll be looking for our 4th winner of the season. We are 24 seconds away. So there is the field. Derek Demers leading them around turn number 1. Scott Witherall going to try to get a run around the outside. We are 10 seconds away. Let's turn them loose in the Seattle Seafair Cup final. Derek Demers has the lead. We're 4 seconds from the start. Made that 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second mark. It's a clean start. It's Derek Demers from lane 2 with the lead. Matt Palmer in lane number 1 is going to have something to say about that though through turn number 1. All of them get through clear so far, and it's going to be Demers and Palmer battling for the win down the back straightaway. Demers has the lead. Palmer in second. Outside, Tyler Sams got a great run. He's trying to move into the 3rd spot. Matt Palmer, though, got a huge bounce. That boat's out of control. He manages to bring it back. But going into turn 1, into turn 2, it's going to be Derek Demers holding on to it. Remember, we go 5 times around in the final. Get on the front straightaway to put lap number 1 in the books. Matt Palmer again gets in the wake of Derek Demers. Going to lose a boat length on from the contact, and it's going to be Matt Palmer in the Red Bull in second. Derek Demers in the Wave Dancer in first. Through turn number 1 now. Palmer on the inside. Now he's going to move in front of Derek Demers. But Demers has got the advantage on the outside with more boat speed built up out there. They make contact. Demers holds on to it. But it's Matt Palmer now with the lead by 3 boat lengths. Into turn number 2 now. Demers has to rally back. Matt Palmer made a little bit of contact, looking to be the first substitute driver in this new era to take home a final heat win. Currently sitting in second in the D2 championship. But Matt Palmer, filling in for Elijah Smith, has an opportunity to unofficially get his first win in D1. Heading into turn number 1, it's the Red Bull in first. Wave Dancer is second. The Bushlight Broncos in third. Tim Johnson in the Miss Tri-Cities is 4th. Got a big bounce through there, trying to go to the inside on Scott Witherall, who's in 5th. But Johnson is going to hold on to the spot. Witherall's in 5th. Harley Gray in 6th. Francis Ranella in the 7th spot. Back up front, Matt Palmer from lane number 1 Made a little bit of contact with Derek Demers. We'll see if the officials had anything to say about that. They have not yet as we start the championship laps. Matt Palmer on a night where Cy Bowen won the championship but did not make the final. It was wide open for the D1 racers, and a D2 driver, a D1 elect driver in Matt Palmer, now comes into the seat with Elijah Smith not making it to Seattle. Matt Palmer climbs behind the wheel of the U49 Red Bull and is now 3 turns from the upset of the season. Through turn 2 goes Palmer. Derek Demers hoping something happens here with this U49, but we'll call it as it is on the water as we start the final lap with Matt Palmer leading the way in the Red Bull. Derek Demers second in the Wave Dancer. Tyler Sams third with the Busch Light Broncos. Tim Johnson is fourth in the Miss Tri-Cities. Scott Witherall fifth in the Miss Castrol GTX. Francis Ranello has now moved to sixth as something has happened with Harley Gray. He is completely out of it on the back straightaway. But already heading down the back stretch is Matt Palmer, the U49 Red Bull. In substitute for Elijah Smith, Palmer 1 corner from history. He makes his way down the front straightaway, and the substitute is going to get the upset. Matt Palmer is going to win the SNHL Seafair Cup. Derek Demers is second in the Wave Dancer. Tyler Sams the third to complete the podium in the Busch Light Broncos. Tim Johnson is fourth in the Miss Tri-Cities. Scott Witherall is going to be fifth in the Miss Castrol GTX. The Francis Ranella will be sixth. And seventh will be Harley Gray, the U29 Dream Warrior. And that will do it. So Harley Gray comes across. There are your results on the screen. Matt Palmer filling in for Elijah Smith, unofficially SNHL win number 1 as far as Division 1 is concerned. So we will sit tight. We will talk to the winners. Give a final review of the National High Points. So Derek Demers will be second. We'll talk to him tonight. Derek, congratulations. You take a heat win earlier this evening, and now you wrap it up with the second place on the podium. Talk about your night.
yes, it was a fun night. Didn't tough. I was going in the final first, but with the winning that third heat. Yeah, so I gave it a good run, but Matt is a fast driver and couldn't hold him off.
Yeah, and that's a surprise. Matt Palmer, one of the Division II guys, comes up and steals one from you. You were battling him there for most of that race. How was it?
Yeah, it was very cool. Tried to give in as not much of a lane, but trying to get tight a bit. But yeah, he just sneaked through me, and we think we just touched for a bit on the backstretch on lap 3, and that put me behind.
All right, Derek. Well, you have a little bit of work to do to make the to make the All-Star race next time out in San Diego. However, the good thing is it's really close in the points, and it's 4 flights coming up next. So, Derek, congratulations, and congratulations on the second, and good luck in San Diego.
Thank you, Daryl. Thanks.
And now the biggest upset of the evening. I did not have this on the bingo card when we started it. Matt Palmer, the Division II stand-in for Elijah Smith today, brings home the win in the SNHL Seattle Seafair. Matt, congratulations, and I think you're going to be ready for Division I next year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good showing. I didn't have it on my bingo card either. I was just hoping to make it into the final tonight, to tell you the truth.
Well, you did just that. You pick up a heat race win earlier. You pick up lane number 1, and you and Derek Demers were locked in an almighty scrap. We heard his side of it. Take us through your side of it.
Yeah, I had the pedal on the start there, which gave him a little bit of an advantage, and I honestly thought it was over for the first 2 laps. He wasn't going to give that one to me, and when I did get a sponson on him, I did have to lean on him to get some breathing room to really get some good entrance into the corner to kind of check out. But I thought it was over there for the first lap and a half.
So, Matt, congratulations. And now you have a D2 championship to fight for next month. Take us through how this win's going to help you get ready for Seattle. Sorry, not for Seattle, for San Diego.
Hey, if I can win races up here, I can win races down in D2 too. So I think we'll just try and go for a perfect night in D2 and try and make up those 400 points on Levi and hopefully bring home the championship.
All right, Matt, congratulations. Good luck in the D2 championship in San Diego next month. And next year, hopefully we'll be doing this to talk about your official first win in Division I.
Yeah, hopefully many more to come. Thanks, Daryl.
So that will wrap it up for tonight. Matt Palmer takes the win. The National High Points Championships are complete. 2,876 points is the gap. That is insurmountable going to next week. Cy Bowen is your champion. And next time out, we will wrap it up Saturday, March 7th, 2026. The SNHL World Championship, the last 4-flight race of the season. And we will catch you there. Racing starts at 7. We'll have the stream up at around 6:30. So congratulations to Matt Palmer for the shock win. He takes it here in the SNHL Seattle Seafair. We will see you in San Diego next time out to wrap it up. Thank you so much. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., the voice of the Saturday Night Hydroplane League. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.